Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, charging me for something extra that never existed? Fine, I'll pretend like it did. Don't make that new order for the large Canadian. My failure to plan is now your problem. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Charging me for something extra that never existed? Fine, I'll pretend like it did. I was using a storage company to keep my stuff over the summer, and they already fudged up the first part of the delivery, so I wasn't having high hopes for the time when I was supposed to get my stuff back. I had sent 7 boxes to the company but received a quote for 8 boxes instead, and the surplus they charged on it was quite a lot. I wrote to them asking why there's this extra box, and they never replied to me to say that they'd look into it or to cancel the charges for the 8th box that didn't exist. I called them every week and the line was bogged up every time, and emailed them near every day because the situation was just so stressful. They kept saying the extra charge was because I stored an extra box and they can't do anything about it, despite me being explicitly clear in all my correspondence that there was no 8th box. Now that they've asked for confirmation that I received all my boxes, I said that after 2 months, I still haven't received the final box. I got my delivery charges refunded as a goodwill gesture, not that I would go back to them ever, but the satisfaction now lies in the idea they are tramping around the warehouse trying to find a box that doesn't exist. If they still haven't found the non-existent box by month 3, I might just as well demand reimbursement for no loss on my part, aside from the extreme annoyance I suffered throughout this unpleasant ordeal. Edit, I'm so happy that there are people who can find catharsis in unfortunate situations like this. It almost makes the stress of losing money to a faceless corporation worth it. On a side note, I really enjoyed you guys guessing what would be in the 8th box. I also am eager to know what it would be. Don't make that new order for the large Canadian. Yesterday I was looking for something easy for dinner, and phoned the nearest pizza from a small building. I ordered a large Canadian pizza for pickup, and the person on the phone confirmed the location and my phone before telling me I could pick it up in 30 minutes. At no point was price mentioned in this exchange. I had specifically ordered this because I was looking at the website and saw they had a large banner on their site which stated they had specific types of large pizzas for $16.99. On arrival at the red-roofed pizza from a small building location, I went inside to pick it up. Server, that'll be $27.67. Me, I'm sorry, I thought your website mentions this large pizza for $16.99? Server, sorry, we don't offer that price over the phone. It's online only. Me, planning my compliance, I'm sorry, you're telling me that if I call in my pizza is almost double the cost as ordering online? Server, sorry, the details are on the poster behind you, and you can see the small print in the corner that says online only. The details were, as promised, in very small print on a very large poster. Throughout this she had been holding the pizza out towards me, waiting for me to take it after paying. I admit I could have been a bit more polite, but I was a bit hangry and grumpy and just wanted to eat my pizza for the advertised price. I turned abruptly away and left her with the pizza. I walked back to the waiting area and pulled out my phone, placing an order online for the same pizza I had ordered over the phone. I refused to make eye contact but watched her quizzically looking at me in my peripheral vision, all the while holding my pizza. She turned to put it down but glanced at her computer, presumably seeing the notification for the same order, under the same name, with the same cell phone number. She looked from her screen to me, where I sat looking at my phone watching her out of the corner of my eye. I'd like to think this was our pizza standoff, our duel of wits, our respective slices of stubbornness. After a few drawn-out seconds she called me back up. Server, okay, you can pay for your pizza now. The total comes to $17.83. I pay the $17 in cash, and they handed me the same pizza they had been holding the whole time. The pepperoni on the pizza, icing on the cake, was hearing them call into the kitchen just before I walked out. Don't make that new order for the large Canadian. My failure to plan is now your problem. My failure to plan is now your problem. So I work in customer service in the automotive industry. As part of the services we offer guests, we perform a state-mandated car inspection so people can register their car with the state. It's a simple process that can take about 15 minutes if you book an appointment with us. But every month we get flooded with people who forgot to do the inspection on the last week of each month. It is a mad dash for last-minute appointments to fit people in before they're late. Now, we don't make money off this type of service. In fact, it's a state-set fee and we realistically lose money doing these inspections on labor cost. I preface this to state that doing these state inspections does not benefit my shop, but we do it because it helps our customers. Front door opens to a male Karen coming in on a Friday afternoon midday. This distinguished gentleman, we'll call him Tim, walks in at around 1 p.m. in the afternoon and slaps his keys on the countertop, informing my front counter teammate that he needs an inspection now. Now understand that even though all of our appointments were booked up days ago, we will still bend over backwards to help someone out. We totally get that things don't always go according to plan in life, so we do what we can to help. That is, as long as you're a nice person. When you start trying to dictate how we're going to help you, that does not fly at my store. Tim decided that today he was going to do exactly that. After we advised him he can either wait almost 2 hours to try to work him into a slot as we process our already scheduled appointments, or book an appointment for him next week. Tim let us know that booking an appointment the following week after the deadline was not an option for him. But he's got time right now, so he's going to generously give us 2 hours of his time, and we need to figure out how to get him in. Cue malicious compliance. I stepped in to take over the conversation for my front counter staff who have been dealing with him up till now. Okay, sir. We're happy to help. I'll get your keys out to the technician, you just have a seat and make yourself comfortable. Immediately I walked the keys out to my technician with explicit instructions. After explaining to my tech that Tim is acting like a dirty trash can full of poop, I gave the express instructions that we will not even touch his vehicle until 2 hours have passed. Mind you, as Tim sits in the lobby stewing, I have the pleasure of servicing several other customers who set their appointments days ahead of time. 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and even a 7-minute inspection for an all-electric car. Things are flowing so smoothly for all of the appointments who did things the right way, and it's showing on Tim's face. After the first hour, Tim finally has the courage to speak up. I really appreciate y'all trying to work me in, but do you know how long it's going to be? No, Tim, you don't get to be nice now and try to expedite your vehicle. You don't get to be nasty to my staff and still get your way. Sorry, Tim, we're still trying to get it fit in, like I said, about 2 hours before we can see the truck. Mind you, the lobby's totally empty and all customers have already been serviced early. It's perfect. Fast forward another hour and his multiple attempts to make small talk to amend his horrible manners/treatment to one of my staffers. And his car's finally being brought into the shop bays. Then moments later my technician walks into the lobby with a giddy smile. Boss, his truck needs wipers to pass inspection, they're torn and fail the vehicle. Passing on this wonderful news to Tim, he agrees to have the tech install some because he of course did not bring any of his own. At this point I feel quite satisfied that Tim's learned his lesson with a little additional help from the universe in him needing to also replace wiper blades. But apparently the universe was not quite done teaching Tim a lesson. His car still failed the inspection. The last part of the test is run by a computer that reads the internal control modules of the car. It's a totally automated process that can't be tampered or affected by the inspector. The only thing that can interfere is if the car's had the battery replaced and those control modules have been reset. But that's exactly what Tim did. Hours before coming to see me, he replaced the battery and cleared those exact modules. So at the end of the day, Tim was his own worst enemy and failed his own car, having to book an appointment for the following week. But with a little help from the universe, he hopefully learned a very valuable lesson, that service workers are not your slaves. And to always tip your waiters. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.